Okay, and then I'll do the screen share.
Yeah.
No, I have to
Press the green button.
wait a moment. After this and this,
And
this one,
no,
this one.
This, press that. And then
Share. Okay.
No,
And
put it
then
in
this
present.
one.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Right. Now, wait. Is it? Do you know that it is being recorded?
Yes, it is recording. You press
And
record.
then to stop share, I do here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then to stop share, I do
Yes,
here.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and then I have my people here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here. Just wait. When everybody is here, so then just check that it is being recorded. But why are people coming here? Why am I having to admit them?
Because you started it, people are waiting.
No, but we said no. We said no. Admit all.
Huh?
We said join at any time and admit all. Are you with me?
Well, I've done it in settings.
Shall we go into settings now?
No, you can't do that now. You have to just manually admit people.
Okay. That's it. This is too much. I can't do anything.
I don't know how you do it.
We did it together, you too.
I don't know if something else you didn't do it properly.
Shall we can do it now? Shall we go
No,
into
you
settings?
can't mess with it now.
Okay. So at least they can see. Just wait till, darling, can you switch your phone off?
You realize you're being recorded, don't you?
Yes.
You're going to have to edit the video before you do it.
Just stop it.
You
Nobody can see him.
Yeah, you can see it, isn't it?
That's all right. That's all right. It's only our chat. So I'm screen sharing. Then once I've stopped sharing the screen at 5, at 3, and just check that this is being recorded.
It still will be recording.
Okay.
You need to just look. I'm going there.
Please.
What can you do?
Why do you have to
I'm supposed to be working.
go in? Five minutes, just wait till everything, till 3 o'clock.
I'll wait till 5 p.m.
No, till this thing is on. Shh. Till this thing is on. Just wait. I'll shut this one.
No, because then I'll have to open it tomorrow.
Doesn't matter.
Just leave it there.
James.
You must try this one.
So Jenny was able to come herself.
Because maybe she's a car.
And she's a
Maybe she's very good.
Stop. I hope yes, let me stop sharing.
Maybe I can't. I think
Doesn't
Hello? What is the one? What is the one? You got all of the stories.
but I don't.
You need to keep that on the screen.
If I can record, then that would have to be done.
If you can't record it, there's a button at the bottom, you just press that button.
If you think it's recording.
It is. It's started.
Okay.
Please, can you keep your microphones on mute? Don't unmute your microphones today. Thank you.
It'll come, it hasn't come yet. We'll start getting the people.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi. Hiya.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Nina.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Nina. Hello, Benji.
Hello, hello, Nurmil. How are you?
I'm good, Benji.
Welcome to International Women's Day. And it truly is an international event with people joining us from UAE, India, and across the pond from US. I sincerely hope that next year we can celebrate face to face and hug each other. Jenny and I will be hosting the event. I also hope that technology works and we can all enjoy our 3 speakers. I'm delighted to say that our MP Jane Stevenson has just sent a video which we will be sharing with you. Theme for this year's Women's Day is Choose to Challenge. I'm sure after listening to our speakers, you will be motivated to move out of your comfort zone and challenge and surprise yourself. Just to put all this in context of current climate and how this pandemic has affected women, I'm going to ask Jenny to share an excerpt from the national report published yesterday. She will also tell everyone about housekeeping arrangements for the event. Over to you, Jenny. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's technology.
Good afternoon, Jenny.
Don't.
Okay, can I ask that everybody has their microphones off for this, please? It's really important because what happens, we actually get a lot of echo back. So for today, if that's okay, please. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got a chat function. At the bottom of your page, you will see there's a chat function. If you have any questions that you would like to ask the speakers, can you put that a question into the chat function? Thank you very much. And I will ask the questions of the speaker at the end. I hope you enjoy the time with us. Now, Nina mentioned a recent national report, and I found this in a newspaper yesterday, and I was quite upset. So I thought I'd like to share it with you. It's been a year like no other. While the pandemic has been tough for everyone, multiple studies suggest that women have been disproportionately impacted by it, both at home and at work. Globally, women are 18 times more likely to have lost their jobs in the last year, while the Women and Equalities Committee has warned that the government risks turning back the clock on gender equality issues unless it takes proactive steps to support women through the pandemic. So this International Women's Day, a year since coronavirus swept the country, almost 3,000 people have been asked about the toughest year on record and how this has really impacted upon them. The results make clear that the pandemic has hit women's mental and physical health really hard. Nearly half people have felt more anxious and stressed in the last year, and 6 in 10 have gained weight. Probably, I think I'm one of them. Unsurprisingly, we have discovered that home and family lives have suffered, with more than half of those with children finding homeschooling particularly tough. Nearly 20% say their relationship with their partners has deteriorated, whilst 52% are doing more housework than their other half. For many of us, it's been hard going financially. Just over 23% who work have been furloughed, while an additional 18% have either taken a pay cut or lost their job completely. Unsurprisingly, 32% of women have seen a downturn in their finances in the last year, with more than 13% still struggling to pay the rent, and 8% taking a mortgage holiday. They're shocking statistics, but there was one more that I heard this morning on the radio that really did upset me. Worldwide, and this is the latest that's come out, the latest data, there are over 20 million girls who will never, ever return to any type of education. And for me, that was quite shocking. I'm going to just hand you back to Nina.
Thank you, Jenny. Now to introduce our speaker, or are we going to do the video first, Jenny? We also have a very short video from our MP, Jane Stevenson, which we want to share with you. This video just came at 1:30. So let me just ask Jenny, are we doing the video now? Yeah. Okay, just bear with us.
We can't hear her.
We
No,
can't
we
hear
can't.
you.
We still can't hear her.
No.
Okay, sorry. What we might do, Jenny, is try the video.
I can't get it any louder.
Shall we try the video after Joeita's piece?
Yes, yes, okay.
Okay. Now to our main guest, Joeita. Now, I have known Joeita for last 10 years. We met at Isha Yoga Center in 2011. She came across as a young, beautiful, and determined woman. But I thought, what is she doing at Isha Yoga Center in Coimbatore? Somehow, we just clicked, exchanged numbers, and as they say, the rest is history. It was beginning of a lifelong friendship. Well, this young, beautiful girl I met 10 years ago now has a beautiful little girl of her own, 3 weeks old today. So if Joeita, who is in the middle of my screen, if Joeita has to leave for a while, we'll understand, because little Nandita needs her, and we'll understand. I'm so pleased to introduce Joeita Das Kell to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nina, and thank you everyone for having me. Happy International Women's Day, everyone. It's lovely to be surrounded by all of you, and also Deepak, who's here. Happy International Women's Day to you as well, because all of these lovely women like Nina are in your life. And it's so great to spend time with all of you today. I'm not going to do so much of a speech because I think all of you have so much more life experience than me. There is not much I can tell you in that department, but I'm going to share some interesting stories from my career and life in the last 10 years that Nina mentioned, and see if there is something there that resonates with you. And we can always catch up later on LinkedIn, or keep in touch if I can do something for you, or you think that my experience resonates with yours and you want to share something. So I know Nina, as she mentioned, from the Isha Yoga Center, where I was doing some very serious hardcore meditation and yoga programs, and trying to get into a very serious side of life. I was in my super early 20s, and I think I reached a point very early on where I was questioning the whole philosophy of, what is the meaning and purpose? Are we just supposed to have a job and get married and have babies? I mean, what does it really mean? And I was trying to investigate that. And I fell into the lap of spirituality, not so much religion, I'd say mostly spirituality. And then I ended up traveling to various parts of the world to figure that out. And in one of those travels, I ended up in the Isha Yoga Center. And that's where I met with Nina. And that's been a game-changing experience for me. Nina's almost been like pseudo family for me in UK ever since I arrived for my education at Oxford. She hosted me for lunches and she took care of me when I was in trouble. We actually went to Kashi together, Nina, with a part of the big group that went. Where I went.
Yes.
Yes, when my British German husband also accompanied me to Kashi, and it was absolute madness. He was going crazy looking at it, but he loved it. And Nina was there taking care of us when he fell ill because he ate Indian street food. And you know what happens after that. The next 48 hours were agony. So that's a bit of, that will already give you a bit of the flavor of my life. It's very, very distributed across continents. So the first thing I wanted to share with all of you is we always achieve, to me it seems this turned out to be one of the most spectacularly true things in my life. I'd read about it, but it actually happened, and I think it's happening to all of us and to each one of you, whether or not we realize it, that we actually achieve a lot less in 1 year than we think we will, and a lot more in 10 years than we think we will. So when you look back the last 10 years, you've gone to places and done things you never thought you will. Some of those things that happened to you were probably tragic and you never expected, but some of those things were also miraculous and you never expected them anyway. But the type of things we want to achieve in the next 1 year always end up being short. Like you're looking at New Year's Eve, thinking of the last 365 days, and you go like, I didn't do as much this year as I thought I will end up doing. That didn't happen to me. But when you do that for 10 years, you're always surprised by, wow, I never thought I'll end up here. So I didn't expect in 10 years, I'll move around the world, live in 4 different continents, end up getting another master's in Oxford University, fully funded. I did not expect to get married and have a baby. It wasn't even in my plans, to be honest, not by a long shot. And I definitely didn't expect that I will be also teaching a little bit in Oxford, and I would have raised about 10 million for my company. These were not things that I wanted at that time, and they were not even in my plans, but they happened. So when I look back, it seems to me that the 10 years were somehow bigger than I imagined. But each year when I looked back, they always seemed small. So even today, when I look back upon last year, I don't think I've done as much or had as much an eventful of a time as I expected to have in 2020, especially with COVID. And I think that's true for all of us. But a few years down the line, we'll look back and we'll see, oh, that year was the foundation of this. And that year was the foundation of patience and resilience. And that's the year I started planning for emergencies. And that's the year I started taking my family for less granted. And all of those beautiful things will have happened in the next 10 years. So my long story short, I'd really like to share with all of you wonderful women that don't feel disheartened if you look back and find that your year has not been amazing, especially 2020 has been really hard. Maybe in the context of the bigger picture, it will definitely make huge sense. The second thing I wanted to share was a bit about my career. So one of the interesting things I found was, so I was always in a career where I was always the odd one out. So I started out as a physicist and an engineer. I ended up working in the Valley. I worked in Amsterdam for a bit. I was based out of Spain as well. And I was always in labs and companies where there were hardly any women on the floor. There were no engineers who were women. In fact, there was this time I remember in Northern Netherlands where I was working on this project where we were upgrading a massive system. And the upgrade had to be done at night because we didn't want to disturb the whole system in the day when it was in operation. And so I end up going there at midnight. I take a taxi and I'm ready, and I have a whole team of engineers who've turned up, and we are about to start, and I'm giving them the plan. And I say, like, just before we get started, can you tell me where's the restroom? And I find that there's no restroom for women because there's never been a woman who was in charge of the whole upgrade in the last 14 years. So the entire shipping yard had men's restroom. There was one female restroom that was converted for them. So they were like, well, there isn't any for you. And that's 2011, so not so long ago. And then I was like, why not? And they were like, well, we've never had hardware upgrade engineers come who were females. So I was always a minority. And then I ended up being an entrepreneur very early on, around 2011, 2012. Again, super minority. There weren't many women tech entrepreneurs back then. I mean, there are not many even now, but 2012, no one. I would walk into rooms where I would get told by people, men, that I should go back and get a male co-founder or a partner to be taken seriously. And there was no political correctness in 2011. Like, they were saying it to me on my face. It wasn't a very nicely packaged either. I was just told on my face, you're too young and you need a male partner to come back, and then we will invest. And that actually happened. So I saw from 2011 to 2015 a lot of changes. Of course, I grew up a little bit as well. And as I grew into this person, I found that the world is also maturing and there's a lot more opportunities for women. And we are talking about giving them equal opportunity and giving us the opportunity to build businesses without having male presences in them. So things are changing, but they weren't so easy in 2011. They're still very difficult. So the second thing I wanted to share is, it doesn't matter what we've picked. I personally found that if you are going to do something that no one else has done before, then you're going to face things that they haven't before. And one of the most amazing advice that a friend of mine gave me that was very helpful for me, and I don't know if it's helpful for any of you in your current life situations, is that ignore 95% of advice given to you. I know most people will say take advice, but I say don't take advice. Our situations are completely unique. No one's going to have that exact same situation. What you're going through with your family, with your emotional state, with your finances, maybe mental, physical issues, who knows? No one knows that. So only you can decide what the sum total of that situation means to you. So it's great to listen to everyone. We should be respectful, but I would say a majority of advice is just probably not going to be useful for your scenario. So just make up your own mind what you want to do. So I think I navigated all of these choices in my career from being in these strange positions to where I'm today, because I did not listen to majority of advice around me, because most of the advice was, do not do this. Everyone was like, don't do this. Why are you going to Oxford? Why are you taking out a huge student loan? Why aren't you getting married? My folks were like, why are you making a business all of a sudden? And why business in UK? And why this and why that? If I were to take any advice, I would right now be doing none of this. Even the biggest and the best well-wishers and friends had asked me not to do these things. That doesn't go to say that they don't mean well for me, and people who advise you don't mean well for you. They probably do, but only you know the best for yourself. So it makes sense to just decide what advice you're going to take. And the third thing I wanted to share is, a lot of these difficult things that I ended up doing, I honestly didn't think I'll have the strength to do them. But I did, because I found a bunch of amazing people around me that I curated. And this is the hard part that a lot of people don't like when I speak about it. It's a bit harsh, and it's not probably very gentle advice. I always tell women, even my mom, who's like definitely much older than me and more experienced, that if you want different outcome in your life, be a little conscious about who you're going to surround yourself with. Okay, we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So let's curate those 5 people. Who are they going to be? And it's a really hard decision, because, there are people we're attached to who are not necessarily great for us. They either drag us down with negativity, or they tell us stuff that isn't necessarily helpful, but it's a habit, it's friendship, or it's relationship, and you don't want to let go. And it's not necessarily, I don't mean a romantic relationship. It could be a friend, it could be a sibling, it could be a neighbor. But mostly every woman I know is surrounded by a certain set of company that isn't doing wonders for her confidence and what she wants to do in life. So this is probably a little harsh advice, but it really worked for me. It really worked for the people that I know. If you can make some tough decisions and curate the people you will be surrounded with, you might get different outcomes in life. Because the voices in your head really come from those people. What you're hearing every day when you go to sleep is those people, and if they are not the company that can push you forward, then you know what, it's not just hard, it's probably impossible to push forward. And sometimes those people are people you're very close to. Usually they are very close friends, family, people you spend the most time with, and it's not the best thing, but you do it. So I think curating that was a hard decision, but once you pick and choose what works best for you, it's a little bit harsh, but it really, really works. And this is something I definitely recommend all women. It's very hard to do because women tend to be a little bit kinder and softer and get more attached. And we don't want to do stuff like this. I've heard men do this very easily, They'll walk out of friendships and relationships if it doesn't work for them really easily. But we are so attached. We're like, oh, I can't do this. She's a great friend, or she's my sister, or that's my brother. They need me. But I think that's where we kind of like need to hold back a little bit and do the right thing for us. That's a bit of a harsh advice. That's really all I had to say. I just want to end a little bit with a couple of other roles I play. So if any of you feel that there are, I don't know, overlaps or things that you could do with me, you can let me know. So I do work with several investment funds, VCs. I also mentor as well as do guest classes for both entrepreneurship and business at Oxford, as well as in an Ivy League in the US. So if there are things around business or entrepreneurship or mentorship, please let me know. If I can help with any kind of business planning or mentorship or accelerators, those are also things I'm very closely connected to. I also engage and work with Innovate UK and Women in Innovation. I also run a women's forum, which is basically women who run their own businesses across the world. And that is a really fabulous forum, again, completely nonprofit. So these are some of the various initiatives I'm involved in. If any of you think that you're doing something where you can benefit by getting into any of those organizations or networks, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or let Nina know. She can probably connect you to me. Yeah, that's really all I had to share, and I'd be very happy to hear from any of you live today. We have a few more minutes, Nina. If there are any questions, anything I can share, if you want to know what it was like to be an engineer, or what it is like to be a businesswoman in UK, or what was it like to live in the Silicon Valley and now here, or anything else, I'm just happy to answer.
Thanks, Joeita. I think we do have some questions as well and a video. Are we ready with the video again? We're going to try, because we did have Jane Stevenson, our MP, and we wanted her to be present, but she couldn't. As you can imagine, everybody's got lots of appointments today. So she has sent us a short video, which we will endeavor to share with you. So I'm going to ask Jenny to try that again. And after that, and thank you so much, Joeita, for all the wonderful insights of your life. I know we could go on and on, but we have at one extreme, I would like to say, somebody as accomplished and at one end of the spectrum, running your own business and have achieved it, so to say. And then we also, SNJ is trying very hard to help girls, women in this country and also in India to be someday where you are. So we have one of the learners who is doing Zoom training. So she's got a short piece to say as well. But before that, I'm going to ask Jenny to share the video with us. So off to you, Jenny.
Nina, I don't think it will get any louder, but I'm going to put it up. and then if it doesn't work, I will introduce the next speaker. But let's just try. So. No, it's gone. What I'll have to do, let me play with it a little bit. Sometimes it happens that when you get a video from somebody else, it doesn't play as well as it should do. So let me just move on. I'm going to, while I'm playing with it, I'm going to introduce Gitanjali, who is one of SNJ learners. And she's going to describe to you her wonderful journey from being a refugee to becoming a mother of 2 beautiful children, and then a learner who is learning about Zoom. And I think many people need to learn about Zoom. And she's also doing English as a second language. So welcome to Gitanjali.
Right. I have to.
Sorry, it's mute.
Okay, brilliant.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kitanshvi Sharma. I am 28 years old. Originally, I'm from Delhi, India. I came to UK in 2014. I'm full-time mother for 2 kids. I have a daughter, she's 3 years old, and another one, little boy, is 3 months old. They are my lifeline. If I say about my hobbies, as a little girl, I used to love dancing, always want to have a career in dance, choreography or dancing. I love dancing. With 2 little one, I have to put the dream on hold till further changes. I am happy with my life and my focus on providing my kids happy and nice future. Thank you for giving me your time. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nina ma'am.
Thank you, Gitanjali. That was really, really well done.
Thank
I
you.
know a lot of people from SNJ know Gitanjali because we've been supporting her all through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And also, you know, she has so we have seen her develop since last year. Also, I think you've done so well, Gitanjali.
Thank you.
She is learning English, settling into a new country,
Yeah.
had a baby, just, you know, all the usual sort of things women go through. And now also training on Zoom. And last night at 11:30, we exchanged these text messages, and I said, okay, it's not too late, and so forth and so forth. And you've delivered your piece really well. So thank you so much, Gitanjali, for sharing that, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Are we going to see, I know Joeita, as I said earlier, that if Joeita has to leave, we'll understand. I will text her.
Yeah, I might have just 5-10 minutes more. I'm so sorry, because she's waking up and I can hear her a little bit.
Can I just ask you, Nina, can I just ask the few questions that we've got then? Is that okay?
We've got questions from across the globe for you, Joeita. So if you could answer those.
Yes.
Answer them as quickly as you can before he wakes up. Okay. This is a question from an SNJ member, Ashkama. We are here to be inspired by you. Who do you take your inspiration from?
So strangely enough, it's not actually a huge personality or a celebrity. My inspiration are regular, everyday people I've known in my life who are incredible. Like my mother, who brought me up single-handedly. She lost my dad when I was really young. And bringing up a child in India in 90s, all by yourself for a lady is very difficult. So she worked like 12, 15-hour shifts and still was there for my homework, for every function. She made sure I had, enough childcare. I had the best things to eat. I went to the best training clubs. And because I was good at studies, she made sure that I got everything I needed. And she was work 7 days a week as well. So my mom is an incredible inspiration for me. And whenever I go through really tough times, like this particular baby, towards the end of my pregnancy, it became very complicated, and she came over to help me. But honestly, just to see her is enough reminder for me that if she can go through so many difficult things and be such a great and happy and cheerful person, then I guess I have it far easier. So she's actually my biggest inspiration.
That's a wonderful accolade. That's really good. Thank you so much. The next question is from Deepak Sareen, and she's in India. And she said, as data becomes the sixth element of life, what do you see the prospects of growth and challenges worldwide?
Yeah, so being in data science for about 15 years now, I've personally seen both the fearful aspects and the hopeful aspects. The hope is obviously we're tracing and tracking everything, so everything is a little bit easier to handle. For instance, the COVID infections were very nicely traced in Korea and in countries like India because the app was very available and the data was there. But then the fearful aspects are obviously losing privacy and not being able to influence your own choices and decisions. So the prospects are tremendous, and there's no running away. Data is like age. You're not going to get any less of it. You're only going to get more of it each passing day. So it's not a tide that you can turn. But what we can do is we can ask for better regulations and policies and make informed choices as consumers and businesses, because obviously data reveals everything about you. And if everything about you is going to be out there, you should have to be able to say something about it. So make informed choices, always know what you're doing. I think the one place that we all are worried about, and what I'm going to talk about, is your phone. Everything's in it, and that's data. So make informed choices. What apps do you use? How do you download them? Who's using them? Where are the permissions going to? But also as a business, how does your government deal with your data? How safe is it? These are all things that you have the right to know. But in general, my overall answer is, data is like technology. Just by not wanting it, you're not going to run away from it. There is going to be more of it each passing day, and it will be used because it should be used. It's like vaccine. You need it to make life better, but vaccines should be tested, right? So it's the same thing. You also want regulations to protect yourself. They go hand in hand. So I personally, as a person who lives, breathes, sleeps, drinks data from a very young age, I am obsessed and in love with data. I don't think that there is any better indicator of truth than data. Your feelings and thoughts can be wrong, but data always speaks the truth, and I'm a big fan. But how we use it, where it comes from, these are questions that we should be very engaged in.
Really very clear answer. Thank you so much. This is the last one now. I'm going to let you go. And if he does cry, rush off. Okay. This is from Rushi in India, and it's also from another SNJ lady. How do you juggle between your professional and young family life? And I think we've just understood a little bit. You might have to rush off. And how do you balance the two? And is this a challenge, or do you see it as an opportunity?
So first of all, I don't balance it. It's like I'm standing on eggs and I'm holding eggs. They're always breaking. So I don't really balance them. But the fact that I can do them is absolutely an opportunity, not a challenge, because to be able to balance multiple things, you have to grow as a person. You have to be more resilient. You have to be more patient. You have to be forgiving to yourself and to others. You have to remind yourself they made a mistake on your behalf, but that's fine. Or I screwed up yesterday. That doesn't mean I'm a bad parent. I'll be better tomorrow. So these are all things you have to learn to get through. And I think that being in a tough position, you'll have only two choices. You can either cry about it and say, oh my God, I'm screwed. Or you can say, all right, I'm going to rise up and embrace this. There's only two choices. So it's always an opportunity. Every challenge is also an opportunity. So I see it as an opportunity to be more spiritual, to bring more resilience and patience and calm and meditation into my life, because that gives me mental strength. But there is one more element I must mention, which is more a science than an art. I think choosing the right friends and partners can make a huge difference in life. And I optimized for that. I'll be honest. I never had friends or partners who would not participate in my life because I know how hard that can be. So I have a partner who's absolutely 50% in everything. So if I cook, he does the dishes. So I'm doing this call, he's handling the baby and feeding her. And when he has a meeting, then I handle her. If I take 4 weeks of maternity leave, she takes 4 weeks of maternity leave. And if I go out grocery shopping, then he does the dishwasher. We're absolutely 50%. And I made that choice very consciously and made sure that I end up with a person who does that, because the career and the life that I want to build is almost impossible to do if I do it by myself. So making a conscious choice of not just your partner, but also friends, and having a dialogue with family, what you want out of them, is really, really helpful. Because the thing is, if you don't have a dialogue, no one's going to do it for you. It's not going to happen just like that. We have this great expectation, at least a lot of us I know, that a lot of women, we don't like to ask for help. We feel like, God, if you don't see how much I'm in pain, then what should I say to you? That's how we think, right? And I think, screw that, forget that. Just have that conversation and say, I need help, and these are the 3 places you can help me with. Can you help? Just say that, and say that to your siblings, to your children, to your partners, to your neighbors. Ask for help, be very clear where you need help, and get that help, because it's so hard to achieve and do the things exactly as you mentioned, balance all these things without having people helping you out. And I have found in the last 10 years since I met with Nina that almost no one offers to help out unless you ask them. Like, it's not something that happens automatically. So be a little shameless. People appreciate honesty and candidness, and say, I'm having a really tough time last 2 weeks. Is it possible for you to help me out cook? Or ask a cousin to say, can you come over on Thursday and do something for me? It's okay to ask for help. Maybe it will create a better bonding between you and the person that you asked help for. And maybe next time they're in trouble, they will ask you. So I definitely ask for help, not just from my partner, but from people that I'm close to. And I definitely accept help from them. And when they ask for help, I help out. So I've created this ecosystem where, in order to balance my life, I have to ask for help.
I think you're actually a wonderful, inspirational person. And it's been a huge pleasure. And I think Nina will also be saying the same. But we're co-hosting today. And I think it's been a wonderful pleasure. I just wish I was young again. And I would be thinking, oh, what can I do that's very similar to you? Because you have got this power, this passion, this understanding. And our young girls need that passion, because when I was young, there was only 5 different types of jobs that we could do. And now is the world, you can just go out and say, I want to do that, and I'm going to do that. And the fact that you said you went along to some place years ago in 2011, and there wasn't the female facilities, I think you've traveled up a huge mountain. Thank you so much for an insight into your life and your work, and definitely your family. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
Have you got a few more minutes, or are you leaving?
Yeah. I've got a few more minutes. Yes.
Okay. I have got Ruchi there from India. Ruchi, do you want to ask a question? Please unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm here. I would like to wish everyone a happy Women's Day, and every woman is incredible in herself. So I'm really happy that Nina ji, you took this bold step today to get so many women on one platform. Now, my question was asked already, so now I have nothing to ask, but yes, to say that all the best to our guest.
Thank you so much, Ruchi.
Ruchi, I know I met you in Mumbai last time I was there.
Right.
And Ruchi, just to introduce Ruchi as well, she runs her own very big international IT company. We've been waiting for her to come to UK. Do you want to just share a few of your experiences which might be similar to Joeita's?
Yeah, sure. I think every woman should keep going always. There should not be any full stop in the career or in the home life or with the children or anywhere it is, because the energy a woman carries with herself is going to affect her family as well and her business too. I'm sure women has a lot of power in itself. The word empowering a woman itself is not at all soothing or not at all suitable for a woman, because woman herself is empowered with so many energies for everybody around her. So I think woman herself is already empowered from within, and they go for everything with a new energy. They go with their children with a new energy. They go to their husband with a new energy. They go to their work with a new energy. They go to their parents, they go to their brothers, sisters, all relation with a new energy. So it is like women is full of energy and empowered already.
Thank you, Ruchi. We also have in the middle of my screen, as I said, we've got learners, tutors, and so many people, supporters, SNJ supporters on my screen. In the middle of my screen is Ayesha, who's our very young tutor. She's helped so many of our learners. And I just want to give this opportunity to you, Ayesha, to just share what you've been doing and what you're aspiring to do. So please unmute yourself and just share your journey with us.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this call. I am probably one of the youngest on here, and it's so nice to have so many inspirational women. I've only recently joined SNJ and I tutor Zoom, but even though I'm teaching women, I feel like I've learned so much from all their life experiences as well. So it's been I'm hoping to pursue dentistry. And I one day to be able to open my own surgery as well.
Thank you, Ayesha. So Ayesha is this your gap year, Ayesha?
Yes, this is my gap year.
And you're putting your gap year to very good use by sharing your knowledge with others.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ayesha. I think, before this time last year, today's March the 8th, nobody knew about Zoom or any of the platforms. Last October, I remember I did a Facebook post and I was, on the spur of the moment, fundraising. I'm always fundraising, as my team knows. And I put one of the posts, I said, people say, oh, this is, what is it called? Crowdfunding. And I said, the only platform that I know or I knew till then was a railway platform, because I have been on lots of railway platforms. I've traveled a lot in my job and career. And till then, that was the only platform. Now, of course, we've all had to hit the ground running, so to speak. So we know of Zoom platform, Google platform, Meet platform, and this platform and that platform. So one of the things that we have been doing since last year really is to upskill ourselves. Because for me, and I know Jenny, and for all of us really, learning never stops. New things come up, new technologies come up, and all these young guys and girls sitting behind their desks are making these apps, which we have to learn. So we all spend a great deal of our time learning. And that's something absolutely crucial if we are to live. For me, it is a mantra. Learning is living. The day you stop learning, we stop living. It's as simple as that. So SNJ team has upskilled themselves because we've had all our meetings on Zoom, which started last March, April. We have been running the whole of support program, SNJ support program, through Zoom, because we haven't been able to meet each other, which is, again, was a challenge, but we took the challenge, and we've been supporting, and a lot of the volunteers and coordinators are today here. And now, of course, having upskilled ourselves, we want everybody to be upskilled and to come onto these platforms. Because one of the things with this pandemic and this virus is that even though the vaccine program is being rolled out, we don't know when or how it will end and how we can meet safely. So this has been a very good opportunity for everybody to upskill ourselves. I also notice on my screen another very young person sitting poised there. And one of the things, before I introduce, ask her to say a few words, I want to say, yes, people have been in isolation, they've been lonely, they don't know what to do in the evenings. So one of the things that we have been doing is bringing people together. And few of us here, we did the training, we grappled with the technology, and every Monday and Thursday, we have the two groups of bringing people together. And mother and daughter both are here today. And I'm going to ask Neetu, again, our very young, not a learner because she knows everything anyway, just to share your thoughts on this Women's Day, please, Neetu. So please unmute yourself. And then if I can just say, and two other people I would like to be ready to say something is Suraksha ji and Kiranatri ji. So just think. So Neetu first.
I'm really honoured to be a part of this platform and able to connect with you all in this way. I think one of the most valuable things and lessons that we've learned during lockdown has been the need for human connection, and investing time in doing this, I think it just elevates everyone's day, and connecting with each other and talking in the way that you do with SNJ brings so much joy to so many people's lives, and I'm just really grateful for that. So thank you so much for making it happen, Auntie. Really, it means so much. It really does. It ripples out in all sorts of ways. So thank you.
Thank you, Neetu. Now I'm going to ask Suraksha ji to say a few words, because Suraksha ji, I'm so pleased that you have been able to join us today. And she's also been one of our star learners. She's been taking the Zoom course, and we welcome her. So Suraksha ji, do you want to say a few words? Unmute yourself first. I think she hasn't yet. No, you need to unmute yourself, Suraksha ji.
Nina, tell me who the two
That's it. That's it. Yes, go on.
That's all I want to say. I'm really pleased to see all these women doing so much. And that's what we want quite a lot. When we came here, learned quite a lot like this. So many ups and downs in their life. I'm really happy to hear the other people. Thank you very much, Nina ji, for bringing me here. Thank you.
Not at all. Not at all. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that we did during last year, and this is continuing, is our Knitters and Natters project. Now, this project came out of a meeting we had way back in September, when a lot of us, when we had no restrictions and we were able to meet. And we asked all the people there, a lot of them were from our bereavement support group, because as you know, so many people have lost their loved ones. And we had a meeting of all these women, all the people, and asked them, and we have now actually named this group as a New Beginnings. I know one of the things, it is cruel fact that death is the only certainty in life. It is very, very hard, and I can see Suman, who is the coordinator of this group, was so brave, and I'll ask her maybe in a minute to say a few words. But from that group, the bereavement support group or New Beginnings group, came out lots of things that people wanted to do. So for example, they wanted to go out for walks, they wanted to knit, they wanted to cook, and some of the things we were able to do. So one of the groups which emerged was Knitters and Natters, where we supplied wool to people and people just knitted during the long winter evenings. And I must say, our star resident knitter is in the middle of my screen. I know she's named as Surindra Atri, but her name is Kiran Atri. So she's also has been on our Zoom course. So Kiranji, if you can hear me, can you please unmute yourself and say a few words?
Hello, Nina ji. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk to you. I have been introduced to your SNJ by Krishna Gupta ji because I was getting bored, and she said, all right, start knitting. I started knitting, and then you introduced to me Zoom classes. And I must appreciate Aisha. She is a very patient teacher because I am full of questions. I'm giving her a question. She's sending me the videos. She's sending me all the explanation. I hope Aisha understand that I am a bit nuisance as well sometime, asking so many questions. But I have learned quite a lot. And now I started knitting. I never used to knit for the last 50 years. But I think I can carry on knitting as much as I can. In summer months will be a bit slower, but I must thank Aisha and appreciate she's a wonderful and very patient teacher. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Well done, Aisha. Suman, if you don't mind, here's another very brave woman. I really look up to her. She's always got a smile. And she's, as Julita said earlier, you know, we all have our ups and downs. But this woman took life by its horns and moved forward and is always, always willing to volunteer. Suman, do you want to say a few words, please?
First of all, I would like to say congratulations, you know, on the...
Are you unmuted?
Sorry. Yes. First of all, I would like to say, you know, well done to all the ladies, so, you know, who's been doing such a wonderful job in our life as a ladies, as a woman. I think in different, what I have felt, that in a different, first you are a daughter, and then you are a, you know, sister, whatever, and then you are a wife, then you are a mother, and then I think after all that, which I have sort of, you know, been in my life, and I think there's a lot of ladies has been, you know, all of a sudden, you know, we have always depended on our men in a nice way, not in a bad way, you know, where we felt that sport was there and we trusted them and we let them do. And then all of a sudden in your life, you have to learn something very different, where you have to take the authority of a lot of things, which actually you're not used to it in your life, which I have sort of, you know, been going through it. And I think with me, I think all you SNJ ladies has sort of helped me so much, you know, through all this difficult time, all this hard time and whatever, you see, you know, so that we could all actually work together, and we are actually been helping each other. So I've been actually with this SNJ all the support and all the work. At least, we are bringing people together, we are doing things together. And I think, which gives us a new array of life, so I would like to say thank you, SNJ, and well done to all the wonderful women, in this group, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suman, for sharing that. I just wanted to ask Jenny, are we doing the video, or because we do have a video? I know there's only 7 minutes left, unless anybody wants to share
We do
something.
have the video. We do have the video, unless you're particularly good at lip reading, which I don't think many people are. The sound quality is awful. So it's not something on my phone it was brilliant, but on here it's absolutely awful. So I think we will say no to the video.
Okay, thanks. What we will do though is we will post the video along with this recording. I just wanted to also say that we are recording this event, but it will only be used for our purposes only. It is not for data collection. I hope, where is Ruchi? Yes, Ruchi, this is Ruchi and Joita, who are in IT. Yes, we've put the GDPR disclaimer and we are recording the event. So we will be sharing that. In the last few minutes, if anybody is bursting to say something, we've only got 5 minutes, please raise your hand and unmute yourself. Yes, go on, Jenny.
I've got a question for Gitanjali, if she's still here.
I think the last I saw her on my screen, she was feeding her baby.
That's okay then.
But I'm sure we'll be able to ask her the question, and we'll put the question to her and we'll get a response. But I do think, we've been supporting women, and one of the things I didn't say, I can't see Parul on my screen. Oh yes, she's just gone somewhere. One of the things which Jenny also wrote or read in her report, and as we know, the two things which affected women particularly badly was losing somebody, losing your husband, your partner, and sometimes that person is also the breadwinner. So you take a double hit, an emotional and a financial hit. And secondly, I think for women, we've never taken charge of ourselves. And what has also happened during the pandemic is, there are figures there, that domestic violence increased threefold. So obviously staying together is good, but also staying together 24/7, proved to be too difficult, and it brings a strain on relationships. So a lot of women found themselves, out on a limb, broken relationships and so forth. So we at SNJ have been supporting domestic violence victims and the children. And for children, as I said, everybody, in the Knitters and Natters group has been knitting for the winter last year, and it's still cold in England. I know it might be very hot in Indore, where Ruchi is sitting, and Delhi as well. But so it has been particularly difficult. And Parul, I think she has left the meeting, and her team have been really, really wonderful helping women. I don't know, Akshma, whether you want to say a few words on how you've supported women's charities and women. Akshma, can you hear me? Please unmute yourself.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's been really an inspirational meeting. It was lovely to hear the stories which everybody had to say about. The only thing I would say is that long live SNJ with all its female supporters. So in real sense, I think SNJ is the epitome of women in power, because it's we've got few men coming in, and one is Surinder Jurka, who's always been next to Nina's side in supporting SNJ. Nina's son Sunit has been, but overall it has been women power. And I think a pat on SNJ women, the ladies' shoulders, and well done, ladies. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm so pleased that people from across the world could join us. I can see Surinder Narula ji in Wales as well, not to forget her. Surinder ji, do you want to say a few words? Because the only thing I would say is that Surinder is also, this is Surinder Narula, not Surinder Julka, has been an avid supporter of SNJ and has taken SNJ from England to Wales.
Can you hear me?
All yours, Surinderji.
I think
it is frozen. Hi.
Yeah, I think got a bit frozen there.
Yeah, it's okay. We can still hear you. Yeah, go on.
You can still hear. Yeah, no, I think I was really very much impressed with all the work which SNJ is doing. And it's been really great to see all the faces of the active people involved in it.
Thank you very much indeed.
And it is amazing. The women do the most of the work. And I mean, all the groups running, really big help. And 3 cheers to us.
Thank you, Surinderji.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Wish you well. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And thanks for all your support. I just want to leave you.
Thank you so much, Tina. Many thanks.
Not at all. Hang on, if I can find the other, no, not this slide. I didn't want this. Yes.
It's lovely to see you after a long time, though virtually.
Thank you. Thanks.
And it's a great effort. I'm sure this is going to help us all growing together up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming, Ruchi.
I wish SNJ all the best. And may SNJ
so much. Thank you so much, girls. Well done. And my sincere thanks to everybody thank you, who has attended the meeting and who has made it possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody that came. Thank you.
Well done, Nina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie. That was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. It was very nice.
Thanks, not at all, Savinda. Good to see you.
Well done, Nina. It all went very well. Great.
Yes.
And all the supporters were
and
there.
Nina, you're looking very nice. We will hear you on the radio. We will hear you on the radio now.
Very well
done,
Nina.
We have to put our radio on now.
Well done. Yeah.
The speaker was really good. Really
Yeah, very inspirational. Young and inspirational. And nice to see Jenny.
Thank you.
We used to see messages on the WhatsApp, but I never saw you. So nice meeting you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Very well. There's so many new faces all. Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, Tina, it went really, really well. Bye.
Thanks. Thank you, Rano. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, Nina.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Aruna. You have not.
ज्यादा टाइम हो गया है
Yes, yes, Aruna, you're right.
Where is the tea? Where's the tea, by the way?
Where's the tea?
Hello.
Arunda Paisa's waiting for his tea.
Yes.
Hi.
Coming
Hello.
I know.
I'm driving.
Well done.
You did well in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I'm driving and listening.
Yeah.
No,
Every successful woman has a man behind.
absolutely, absolutely. And come on.
No,
Yes, and here's my IT support as well.
Hello, me too.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you really, really much. Thanks, Jenny. It's all came together, and thankfully the site didn't crash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Sunit.
Hi, hello, everybody. Hi, Swindra.
Hello, Bittu.
Listen to Gulshan Radio. I must be mad, but I'll be there in 10 minutes. Yes. I've been so I'll dial it. Okay.
Start singing there.
Thank you. Thank you.